Yes, I believe right now at home, for the cost of maybe $1 or $2 per figure, you can make figures at home like you're seeing that I've made here at my house on my Photon that cost up to $100 from Games Workshop, or easily $20 or $30 from Reaper or other Games Workshop models. And not only that, you can make as many of these as you want, and you can make them any size slash scale that you want. You can customize bases for them. You can customize some of the figures themselves. I actually have a series of videos on how to customize 3D printable figures and bases. So basically the possibilities are almost limitless. You don't need a lot of technical skill or artistic ability to do this. I buy all these files I get from artists, and the average cost that I pay per file averages out to $1 or less. And then it costs me, say on a very large figure like the Demon with the Axe, which would be a Bloodthirster proxy possibly, or a Balrog, or a Pit Fiend in D&D. That figure cost me about $2 in resin costs to make, and I paid less than $1 for the STL. That's unbelievable. The value you get right now from 3D printing is insane. But on top of that, look at the quality of these figures. You are not sacrificing artistic quality to get and make cheap figures at home. In fact, you can see from the pictures of what I've done, a lot of these artists are producing stuff that are as good as or way better than Reaper for sure, and on par with Games Workshop. And in some cases, I think better than Games Workshop. And you don't have mold lines to deal with, and even on big figures, you have the same assembly you would have for Games Workshop, but again, no mold lines. So I think you come out with even nicer looking models. And some of the artists sculpting these have worked for Games Workshop and other big companies like that, so you're getting this really the same quality art, but you're getting the versatility of making what you want, when you want, as many as you want. And if I want another demon, I can mirror it in my 3D printing software and get a demon that looks a little bit different, even though it's basically the same. So you can create an army of figures. Like you look at these pictures, you'll see my kobold army coming up. And once I've paid for those files, I get, like I said, less than $1 for those kobolds. I can make 100 of them if I want. And each of those cost me about 10 cents to make. So I can make an entire kobold army, that cost me maybe $10 to make. And if I was to buy all those figures, forget it. That alone would cost more than my printer and my materials have cost me. So what you can do at home right now is, to me, it's just mind-blowing. I mean, really, pay attention to this art as you're looking at these figures. The sculptors these days making files for us at home, these sculptors are truly amazingly talented. You can see, as you've been looking, the Undead Army that I made. That was all from one artist, all from one Kickstarter. I think I paid $60, and I got way more files than you're even seeing in these pictures. There's a ton of stuff I didn't even make yet. And I have an incredible Undead Army to drop on my table for D&D. You could use a lot of these for Warhammer, Age of Sigmar. You could use them for any game, basically. And again, the beauty of it, if you want them 28 millimeter scale, you scale them to 28 millimeter. You want them bigger? Make them bigger. You literally control every aspect of the printing process. And like I said, you make what you need when you need it. You've got a D&D adventure coming up with the undead, you print up the undead. You need a demon, you print the demon. So player characters, for sure, you can make almost anything you want. And with programs like Desktop Hero, you can actually customize your miniatures for your player characters or NPCs or whatever you want. I mean, there's a wealth of files available now on Patreon, on Kickstarters, and on places like Desktop Hero. And literally, you're only limited by your imagination. And of course, you can print any and all terrain that you need for Dungeons and Dragons at a 100th of the cost that you would have to buy it from retailers or selling you physical products. So a 3D printer, pays for itself very, very quickly if you actually play any of these games or buy figures with any regularity at all. So I hope you enjoyed this little video, but really the takeaway from here is, get a printer, start printing your own stuff if you don't have one. I have a channel. If you look at my channel, I have all kinds of videos on how to basically produce these figures once you've bought the files from the artist. So please like this video if you like it. Subscribe to my channel. Check out my other videos. And please go out and buy 3D printers. They're cheap and they are amazing. Thank you.